You are now watching the official YouTube channel for the largest basketball manager game in the world. Join at BuzzerBeater.com if you think you can beat the buzzer.
What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to Bubbles BuzzerBeater, the official BuzzerBeater YouTube channel. Today I wanted to give one final update on the Utopia team and kind of our process before Season 60 begins. And primarily I just wanted to go over, end of season, kind of where we're at, and then also running through the draft and scouting. So I wanted to run through my draft board and just also keep track of the box scores, because I know sometimes I draft a player and I would be curious to see how their skills translate to the box score that I saw for them. So this will also be the last episode of what I consider the first season of the Utopia team, and I know it's been like multiple seasons since I started the Utopia experiment kind of playlist, but I feel like next season is really the first time where the arena foundation is set, the roster is kind of more in place for the bigs who I can sell later on for more players, but this will be the first time I have a lot of money, and I think next season kicks off like season 2 of the Utopia process. So I'm very, very excited for that. You can see we're at almost $1.4 million right here for the amount we have to spend during the off season for a couple players. And then also just a reminder that if you have not submitted your final draft order, you must do so before February 5th. So coming up here in just a couple of days, make sure you get that final one submitted. And let's go ahead and look through the draft board for us. So you'll see I used all of the scouting points that I had available. There's some spots where I wish I had a little bit more points, but we just didn't have the revenue to do so. Or the scouting points to do so. So looking at what we have going on, I do have the first overall pick, so I'll actually go over to the league. You can see the final league standings for me. You can see I'm 2-20 with the worst point differential, so I do have the number 1 overall pick, which essentially means that this 5'5" prospect is who we are getting. So this 6'3", 19-year-old point guard, A grade rating. I wish there was an 18-year-old that I found with 5-star rating, 5-star potential, but unfortunately, it's either just a weaker draft or was one of the players that I wasn't able to scout. Regardless, though, 21 minutes, he had 27 points and 5 assists, so he seems like a scorer, very, very efficient, and then also had 5 assists and a block and a steal. So I think he should be a pretty good prospect for us. If he's Hall of Famer potential, I'll likely keep him. If he's MVP, I'll have to decide if I want to keep him or sell him. And then these next 3 all kind of fall into the same tier of they'd be a nice kind of 3rd, 4th training option, especially if I can stay homegrown and keep a little bit of extra money for that. So the person I have in second is this 6'8" shooting guard. And the reason I have him above the other 2 guards or wings is because the 6'8" tells me that I can train him a little bit more for that hybrid forward spot for our 5-out system. So you can see not as efficient as our number 1 pick, but 40 minutes played, 14 rebounds, 4 assists, 5 blocks, and a steal. Also got to the free throw line a lot, so I'm assuming he has high driving, but we will see if that translates out. Not entirely sure if we'll be able to get him, but I do feel confident that we should be able to get one of our next 3 players with our second pick. So player 47 right here, 6'2", 18-year-old, 5-star rating, 4-star potential, small forward position, A+, and then once again, decent box score. He does have 3 turnovers, so I imagine handling or passing might be a little bit lower, but also got a block there, so you'll see a lot of these guys at the top seem like decent shot blockers for their heights too. And then moving on to the next one, this is like the defensive specialist. They're 19, so I did have them below the 2 18-year-olds just because the main prospect we'll be picking up to build the defensive monster will also be 18. But the 19-year-old looks very, very interesting. Cannot shoot at all, as you can see. 0 of 10 from the field, 0 of 3 from 3-point range. But 7 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals, 2 blocks. So he can do a bit of everything else. And then the last 5-star rating player that I didn't have the chance to interview based on points is this 5-star rating center. So I don't know what their potential is. I don't know what the grade rating, age, any of that is. I do have him below these other 4 prospects. So if we look into him and he happens to be a 4 or 5-star potential player, then that's awesome. But I just think the sheer fact that we're going for a 5-out system, a center is going to be naturally a little bit less valuable. And then I just have a couple guys here. These are just going to be like emergency pickups for if the top guys are all gone. I think these can both be good players for us in Division 4 Utopia, and also be used for like the Cup and BuzzerBeater Madness games if we need them. So you'll see the A+ small forward, 19 years old, 5 of 16 from the field, 3 of 3 from 3, 7 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 blocks, 5 turnovers. Decent player. I'd be curious to see if either of these 19-year-olds, if we get them in like the final round, if any of them are 70 plus total skill points, because those are always very nice to have on your roster. And then the last guy right here, 6 of 13, 3 assists, 2 turnovers, 1 steal. Nothing spectacular, but just another 19-year-old who has an A grade rating, who I think could have a high total skill point. So, and then you'll see a big kind of chunk of just the gray ball prospects until we get down here, where you'll see the 18-year-olds who had A or A+ rating with 2 to 3 potential. These guys I put a lot lower because All-Star potential and lower is just not really worth anything to me, and they're 18, so they're not even going to have the souped-up skills where they could have like proficient outside defense, proficient inside defense, and be like a decent cup guy. And then you'll see the rest of them. So 4-star rating players, 3-star rating players, and 2-star rating players. So all of these are at our bottom. I'd rather take a chance on these that could be 5-star rating or higher potential. And then these are kind of the main chunk of guys here at the top. So I'd love to come away with for sure 2 of the top 4 guys, 2 of the top 5. I mean, the center does have a chance of being good. But I think if we can come away with 2 of these top 4, it would be a really good draft for us and set us up with a good foundation for next season. So once again, February 5th, make sure you submit that. I know sometimes people scout and see a lot of good players, but just don't want to go through the time of moving them up and down. So make sure you do that before the draft happens. And until next time, you guys have a good one. Bye.